Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm playing Legacy at the request of Patreon subscriber Peter, and this is Big Tron. This deck recently won the Legacy Showcase Challenge on Magic Online. I saw some chatter that it may have gone undefeated through the entire tournament. I can't verify that, but I heard someone say that. I got my ass whipped by it the other day in a league. I hadn't seen it before, and they got me from the top rope with a Sorcerer's Spyglass. I think I had to burn a force on it because my hand was two of the same fetch land or something, and then they just resolved the One Ring next turn because they flushed the force out the turn before. It was one of those super frustrating things, but banger after banger after banger. Classic Tron ramp. There is no Mystic Forge here. There are 4 copies of Candelabra of Tronos, which there's not a lot of Legacy decks I'm not even remotely close in real life to building, and this is one of them. I think I have 1 Candelabra. Casual $2,000 Magic card. Grim Monolith, another very expensive Magic card. This deck's just really expensive in general. But if you have access to it, it is hyper consistent at doing the thing it wants to do. Urza's Workshop being the bonus Tron land, Planar Nexus turning on all of the Tron lands, which means if you have Planar Nexus, Urza's Mind just taps for 2, Tower taps for 3, no questions asked. You don't need to actually make Tron. And it's very clear what this deck wants to be doing, which is casting the big stuff up here. But the interesting part of the game is the little stuff down here. Like, are we Trinisphering? Are we Spyglassing? Are we Needling? What do we name with Flute? What do we name with Needle? To get to the spot where you start doing this stuff. Because once you start doing the big stuff, the game should be over. It's getting to the big stuff with this middle row of cards. That's pretty interesting. Let's do it. This is Big Tron. I'm on the draw in round 1 versus Rick Hardpack, who is a member of the BoshNRoll community. I'm going to keep my hand. I have 3 different Tron lands and Planar Nexus. Rick likes tempo decks. Is it, if I remember correctly? There we go. A Volcanic Island. That is the kind of start that could be frustrating. However, my hand goes Buck Wild next turn. Disruptor Flute naming Wasteland is the baseline. Naming Force of Will, if I don't get Wastelanded, that could make my One Ring better. All right, there's the Wasteland. Delver didn't flip. I have a little bit of time to work through that. Got a couple more of those. Another Power Plant. Sure. I will not play any spells this turn. End step Brainstorm. Oh, Delver's likely to flip here. Using Brainstorm to aggressively flip your Delver is frequently wrong, but I think in a matchup like this, it is right. And it depends on the context of your hand and everything, of course, but generally, pushing some extra damage early is not the massive difference maker compared to what you get out of an extra card later. But in a matchup like this one that could end on a single spell, there we go. Now we're cooking. Okay, can I get this Kozilek's Command, or can I get this One Ring on the stack? Opponent's got Lightning Bolt in hand, and then some 3 unknowns. Okay, I can Kozilek's Command the Insectile Aberration. How much mana do I actually have here? It's 4, right? Yeah, I net 1. I could Disruptor Flute naming Force of Will, and then exile a Monk token, and then go into the One Ring next turn. This turn was so good that it doesn't necessarily mean there's not a Wasteland over there. And if I get Wastelanded, I'm definitely dead. Okay. I am going to Disruptor Flute here. I hardly know her Flute. Ha 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 ha. I'm naming Force of Will because my job is to resolve the One Ring next turn and then do some fuck shit. Preordain. 1 top, 1 bottom. Lightning Bolt target me. This stinks a little bit because if my opponent has Daze, I take extra damage. If they don't, this is great. Exile target creature and draw a card. Get this Monk out of here. I draw a card. Daze is the card I'm worried about right now. Right, the Daze is there. That basically ends the game. So this is going to be 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Right, I'm at 2. And a Wasteland. Oh, that's a full Delvering right in my smelly face. Okay. Do I sideboard? Is an interesting question. All this stuff is for Karn. This stuff is for Oops All Spells. Dismember will frequently deal as much damage to you as a Delver does. Yeah, I think I just don't sideboard here, is what I signed up for. The Izzet Delver has kind of fallen out of favor a little bit because of the prevalence of Dimir, but if your opponent's got it, that is exactly the type of game plan. I mean, certainly the hand my opponent had, but the type of game plan that can beat up a deck like this. This one doesn't ramp and is way too slow. This one is not without its problems. Do I think Saga Gaming has a chance of beating this opponent? Workshop doesn't kick in until you have Metalcraft. Alright, I'm gonna bottom Ugin and try to run this. This isn't an Ancient Tomb deck, but these Grim Monoliths always show up on turn 2. Yeah, like, the math of this deck is just very interesting. Okay, Workshop, Candle, delivering the threat rather than wastelanding me. And I don't know if there is a wasteland over there, but threat has appeared. Delver flipped, revealing Ponder. Bad luck for me. Wasteland also there. Going after the Saga. Damage is done. Ponder happens. Kozilek's Command. That can answer Delver next turn, maybe. And I can point it at Delver next turn. I don't know if it's going to work. Second Delver. Disruptor Flute. Interesting. That commits me to taking some beats, but it does turn off Wasteland and gets me closer to Metalcraft, which is actually bonkers here. All right, I'm going to Disruptor Flute. Force of Will, pitching Murktide. Okay. I named Force of Will with that last game. So that was a heads up read. I wasn't going to name Force of Will this time, but if you're counting on Wasteland, you still want that. Delver flip, revealing Bolt. No rest for the weary here. Just every Delver flipping always has Wasteland, always has the pre-permission I'm not ready for. Can I draw Planar Nexus right now and win the game anyway? Ponder. Oh, yeah. What card do you want, though? I think it's Power Plant. Okay. Wrong. All right, now I could draw Planar Nexus and resolve the One Ring. All right, I'm dead. Yeah, ass kicked. Quick clock, double Wasteland, free permission, both games. GG's. But yeah, that was a showcase of what happens when your opponent was not interested in playing a slow game. On to the next round.
The NYSE Open is returning on June 6, 2026 to Long Island, New York. This proxy-friendly vintage tournament has the guaranteed prize pool of 8 pieces of Power 9 to be drafted by the top 8 based on final standings. Any additional profits made from the event will be added to the prize pool as on-site vendor credit. This tournament has been great the last 2 years. How often do you get to act sad about winning just a time walk? You know I'll be there. See you at the NYSE Open on June 6 on Long Island, New York. Use my link in the video description or find the New York Stacks Exchange on melee.gg.
I'm on the draw in round 2. Hand is kind of insane. I'll keep. City of Traders. Oh my god, I'm getting Blood Mooned. Oh, even worse. The double Spirit Guide. Caves of Chaos Adventurer. Okay. Is that worse than Blood Moon, or is it better? It's comparable. Alright, Urza's Tower, Candlestick. Clench my cheeks for a turn. Opponent got a Mountain. If they follow up with Blood Moon, I'm definitely dead. If I get one turn here, I might be able to do something. Chrome Mox. Pitching Broadside. Okay, so they have a card that is better than Broadside Bombardiers in their hand. Getting the flip trigger. Flipped the One Ring. I actually don't mind. I mean, if they need another Spirit Guide, or I guess, yeah, a Wasteland's in your deck. What is going on over there? And choosing to waste me, yep, that makes... Deleting 2 of your own lands to waste me makes a lot of sense here, actually. All right, Candelabra, and I'm at 1. I'm already at 1. This is crazy. Yeah, turn 1 Caves of Chaos Adventure is pretty good. I think on the play, I actually win this game, which is crazy. But when you sign up for crazy Slugfest magic... Oh, good thing they played that Mountain pre-combat, or else I'd be getting Wastelanded again. Okay, 1 life remains. Is there any path out of this? I have 3, 4, 5 mana. This has Trample. Nope. Alright. Yeah. I can Kozilek's Command for 3, but that's still 1 short of playing the One Ring if I find it. Alright, I'll concede. Balls to the walls, as they say. Once again, I'm not convinced I have any sideboard for this. Oh, Dismember's actually dope. Yeah, that can kill Magus of the Moon and take the pressure off of a quick initiative creature. Would the Wasteland deck have Blood Moon in it? Are those things mutually exclusive? Trinisphere is a strange one, because they're very good at playing through Trinisphere. If I have it on turn 1, it's probably fine, but after that, it seems pretty bad. It wouldn't have stopped the turn 1 they just played either. They spent 4 actual mana on that thing. It just happened on turn 1. Mindbreak Trap doesn't matter either, because they only cast 1 spell that turn. Alright, yeah, I just gotta go big. I mean, this hand rips like crazy if I get a second turn. I mean, I'll get a second turn, but if I can still do anything on that turn. City of Traders. Chrome Mox. Okay. Dismember that sideboard. Clutch sideboard. Alright, well, I can answer Magus of the Moon without even using Dismember here. Or I can just use Grim Monolith to ignore it. Okay, Grim Monolith. 3, 2, 5. I think I want to Tarn and then Dismember. Because that also messes up their Chrome Mox. Do I actually even want to Dismember? Because this is messing up their mana right now as well. I could play Candelabra plus Karn and just do stuff next turn. Blow up that Chrome Mox. And the City of Traders does... It doesn't die. And I will eventually have to kill this Magus. Alright. I'll just donk the Magus. I'll do it now. Okay, that did end up costing them. The One Ring doesn't work here. Disruptor Flute, Naming, Key, or Karn are both fine. Okay. Oh, nice. Alright. The ultimate defense. Key and Karn are now both disabled. But I drew a Tron land, so it doesn't matter. Candelabra. I can Kozilek's Command for 2 here. Or I can untap Grim Monolith and do it for a lot more next turn. Cavern of Souls. 1, 2. Untap this. 3, 4. Untap Monolith. Multiple commands. I think I want to play just a little bit of defense here, and I'll pass. Commanding into another land and then getting something crazy going, all that sounds pretty dope here. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to resolve. Okay, I'm going to scry 3 and make 3 spawns. I don't really want to invest my Grim Monolith if I don't have to. There's so many bangers that could cast. Karn, Saga, Power Plant. Well, obviously, Power Plant and Karn. Not interested. Where's the Saga kind of rips here? I'll take it. It's not as good as, like, Ugin, but few things are. Alright, One Ring gives you protection, but you can't activate it. And opponent is now Hellbent. Hey! Say his name and he appears. Right, Urza Saga. And they're just scooping to that. Cool. Taking turns being on the play and draw with these dumbass decks. Okay, Trinisphere seems completely unplayable on the draw. But is there anything I would actually want in my deck over it? Like, I could play Battleship and Leveler, and then they're not in the pool of Karn cards, but they're just bangers I could draw. I don't believe in Mindbreak Trap versus the Spirit Guides. Alright. I think this feels good. Okay, no ramp, no removal, no anything. Yeah, this hand just stinks. Even has a 15 drop in it. This hand also stinks. Mulligan. Okay, I mean, I guess I hold on to this one. Keep, get rid of Leveler, and probably has to be Karn, even though I do want Karn. Yeah, I think I'm on reactive duty here. Karn shuts down some of their mana, though. No, alright. Gotta stop. Cavern on Human. Versus Tower. Alright, well, that makes things more exciting. I'll run that out. City of Traders. Casting some kind of Human. Magus of the Moon. I didn't actually need to float Colorless, because Mountain does still cast Dismember, but boy did I. Alright, now I can do stuff. What kind of stuff do I want to do? I could go Saga Monolith here and set up for a huge next turn. I could just leave up Kozilek's Command. Yeah, I think I'm going to go Saga Monolith. Okay. Yeah, developing the Saga is just so nice here, getting that secondary threat running. And this will tap for Colorless even if they Blood Moon me. Okay, a Wasteland, but it is your 4th land. Do you need that? Yeah, you do. Alright, Seasoned Dungeoneer is in the game now. but that took them off wasting me for a turn, which could be huge. Mountain in the revealed card zone. Another monolith. Okay, another monolith makes my constructs bigger. Does that matter? I'm playing Nexus, that's happening. I can play Grim Monolith and make a construct just right now, because I have the mana floating, and then I can still Kozilek's Command this Seasoned Engineer. And my opponent has to decide if they want to stop Key from coming into play, or if they're going to go after the Saga. I let the Forge resolve, because that doesn't matter when it resolves. That one's kind of interesting, but I'm still going to cook you. At the beginning of combat, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exile target creature. And I think I want to scry X here. They have tapped out of the wasteland, so I don't need to make spawns. I have another turn to party. The spawns would block Broadside Bombardier, but I'm not super worried about that either. Well, Candelabra's insanely fucked. Okay. Bottom. I think this is just top. And they would need a Fury or some sort of thing to keep the initiative here. Couldn't do it. All right, nice. Main phase. Make another construct. Tutor. I could get Pithing Needle and just turn off Wasteland here and play the game that way. That actually seems really good. Pithing Needle, name Wasteland. Candelabra with my floating mana. Urza's Tower. Attack, get the initiative. I have no basics. And I'm just gonna park it with my Kozilek's Command up here. Another Wasteland. We got him. The One Ring. That card's actually good. All right. That can resolve. I'll be targeting Broadside Bombardier and myself with Kozilek's Command. All right, 1, 2, 3. Candelabra, target the towers. 6, 7. Yeah, I'm just going to go maximum dig here. Exile target creature, target player scries X. I'm going maximum dig rather than untapping the monoliths because I have a lot of mana already. And I have to keep up with a One Ring now. Spyglass does that a bit. Ugin does that a bit. Okay. Bottom. In what direction do I want these cards? Yeah, I think it's top. Okay. That works for me. Second main, Chrome Mox. Naming nothing. Interesting. Or exiling nothing. We're just playing around Trinisphere? What is that? Lost Well, Trap, Stash. Where do I want to go? They have the One Ring protection. Yeah, I think I'm going to Forge. I'll just make a construct bigger. That's fine. Okay. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 mana. That's enough to do all the things I want. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Untap. 10 will cast Ugin. There are no targets to exile, unfortunately. Then I'll gain 3 life and draw a card, which puts Kozilek's Command in my hand. And then I can Sorcerer's Spyglass, turning off the One Ring, exiling nothing again. Tragic. Hand is another Wasteland. Okay. The One Ring. Okay. Opponent is officially in the garbage. There's no attack to be had here. And now they lose 1 every turn for the gain of nothing. City of Traders. Yeah, that's one of the better draws. This goes into the trap or the arena immediately. I assume the trap. You don't want to be goading my constructs. They are better than you. But opponent is deceased here because I have the follow-up spell that they're hoping that I don't have. And I'll gain 3 life and draw a card. Because it doesn't matter. I can do whatever I want with the Ugin. Another one. Okay. Sorcerer's Spyglass. Yeah, as soon as I tap mana, they're conceding. All there is to it. Cool. Wait, took turns. Just dumpstering each other on the play, and then game 3 was actually kind of dope. On to the next one.
The BoshNRoll channel is brought to you by Tales of Adventure. TOAMagic.com has almost 100,000 unique cards in stock. They offer free track shipping on every order, plus next day or 2-day options when you have an event coming up fast. They offer on-site pickup at major Magic events throughout the US, so you're never scrambling before your tournament. Stop by their booth to buy, sell, or trade at upcoming regional championships, Magic Con, Spotlight Series, and more. I love their selection of individually scanned high-end cards that show you exactly what you're buying. And the best part is saving 5% on every order with promo code BOSH. From Ancestral Recall to Zombie Master, get what you need quickly and in one place at toamagic.com. Eternal lives here.
I'm on the draw for round 3 with a hand that doesn't really do anything. I'll mulligan. And that Emrakul just determined to be part of the game. Father, please, keep a hand with me in you. That's what Emrakul sounds like. All right, I'll keep this one. Has multiple ways to disrupt Wasteland. I can turn off Wasteland, turn off Force Will, then jam the One Ring. That means getting rid of Ugin, but I think if the One Ring resolves, I can live in that world. Dryad Arbor. All right. I'm unlikely to name Force of Will with this Pithing Needle, or with this Disruptor Flute. I'm certainly not naming Force of Will with Pithing Needle. Dryad Arbor decks frequently have Wasteland in them, though. Wasteland is off. Wirewood Symbiote. Oh, is this proper combo elves? I'm so excited right now. If I just lose right now, I'd be so hyped, actually. Please cast Glimpse of Nature and then win. Elvish Vish, alright. Alright, this deck probably doesn't have Wasteland in it after all. Karn the Great Creator. Do I develop Urza Saga here, or do I need Planar Nexus going? They both cast Flute, but Nexus might do more next turn. Okay, yeah, I don't think this game is about Urza Saga. I could just Flute naming Symbiote right now, or I could name Natural Order. Oh, this is so tough. Alright, I'm going to name Natural Order. Yeah, this won't stop a Glimpse line, but Natural Order is the card that kills me the cleanest here. Oh, hell yeah. Let's fucking go. I'm so ready to lose to this, and I'm excited about it. It's one of my all-time favorite Legacy decks. Orcish Bowmaster made this deck a huge liability to play with, but I don't have that card, and I don't have any interaction of any kind, actually. Alright, go off. Whatever you're doing, it's going to happen. They've used their land drop already, and they've used Quirion Ranger already. 2 Symbiotes can see a lot of cards this turn. They're looking for Heritage Druid to really break it. Virtual Rangers is the mini Heritage Druid. It's not quite as good, but it does the job for the most part. Nettle Sentinel. Okay, now every one of their elves they cast costs 1 green less, because they tap 2, cast an elf, untap Nettle Sentinel. Heritage D, let's go! I'm so hyped. The sad part is, if I was on the play this game, I would have just played the One Ring here, and then all this shit would have happened, and then I would have beat them with Karn anyway. Legacy is not what it was 10 years ago. Triple Symbiote here means they can replay one of these Elvish Visionaries 3 more times. That's draw 6 more cards. They have enough mana floating that they could easily cast Natural Order if they find it anyway. Second Glimpse, fuck yes. When you're elf comboing and you're like kind of tenuous, it's like I drew a card, but it wasn't that good. I drew a card, it wasn't that good. And then you find the second Glimpse, you're just like, oh yeah. They're at the point where they're picking up Visionaries. Ancestral Recall. 1 green mana, draw 3 cards. Quirion Ranger. There's now 3 elves in play. 7 mana. That's enough to Natural Order with. Visionary. Still just doing tricks on it over there. Yeah, if I knew the deck on turn 1, if this Pithing Needle was on Visionary, maybe we'd have a game here. They might have run out of gas once and I could get the One Ring going. But they could easily draw their deck from this position. Another Birch Lore. Another Nettle Sentinel. Yeah, now every spell costs a green less, because they could tap the 2 Sentinels for green to Birch Lore, and every 1-drop is free. Every elf nets 2 mana, because they can... Oh yeah, the 3rd Sentinel. They are on just a full combo, incredible. This is a deterministic draw your deck from this point, and every spell you cast, it's... These Nettle Sentinels tap for 3, then any spell you cast will untap them, which means you gain mana equal to 3 minus the casting cost of the card. So 1 drops you net 2 mana, 2 drops you net 1 mana, 3 drops are free, 4 drops only cost you 1. The Allosaurus Shepherd makes things into 5/5s. It doesn't give the squad +4/+4. Like, this isn't Izuri, where it is an infinite mana sink. Here we go. Show me that hoof. Yes. Genuinely love that. Okay, Dismember coming in. Do I want Battleship in the deck, or is that a Karn grab? Destroy target non-creature permanent, then it deals 4 to each creature. Just blow up your Cradle and every permanent you have. That feels like a Karn grab to me. Dismember coming in. I think the Spyglasses can come out. And they do have some disruptive capabilities. Quirion Ranger and Wirewood Symbiote were both part of that game. And this can look at their hand and see Verdant Catacombs or whatever. Disruptor Flute I can play onto the board. And maybe it's just Pithing Needle and a Spyglass. Getting to look at their hand when 1 mana isn't the big difference. Actually kind of sweet. Mindbreak Trap. I guess I could see an argument, but I really don't want to have that card. Because unless they cast Craterhoof Behemoth, it doesn't matter. Because if they cast Natural Order and I trap it, then they just continue drawing the rest of their deck until they hit another Natural Order. I would expect like Collector Oof in their Green Sun Zenith package, maybe some Force of Vigors as resistance. Okay, a turn 2 Trinisphere. I can dismember their 1-drop, then cast Trinisphere. This sounds pretty good. Nexus Pass. Dryad Arbor. Wow, that's extra beating, because this Dismember just became Strip Mine. Bonk. Alright, I was about to say I need some follow-up, but I found it. It's Manifold Key. If they have Force of Vigor right now, I've given them a window to punish me, but I think it is necessary to do this. Badonk. Is the game over? A forest. Kozilek's Command. Yeah, I'll just pass here. Yeah, okay, they've had enough. All right. Took turns, just stunned on each other. And, I mean, my sideboard's my sideboard. It's really only the Mindbreak Traps that would give me any consideration at all for changing anything else. But yeah, the thing about Elves is even on their combo turn, Trinisphere is annoying because they don't have oodles of mana until they're several iterations into the loop. And if each step of the loop costs 3 mana, then the oodles are hard to come by. I like the Dismember, I don't like anything else. Gonna mulligan. Oh no, this hand is just as bad. Mulligan. Okay, this one is doing something. I'm keeping it. I'll get rid of Voltaic Key, and if I draw a Monolith, I'll wish I had this Manifold Key. But it is clearly the worst card among the face-up options right now. Here we go. This hand is much worse than my last one. Thoughtseize. All right, I mean, the lands are the important cards in my hand right now. If they are spending a turn Thoughtseizing instead of developing a Llanowar Elf or something, that's something I can absorb. Kozilek's Command. Yep, I agree. That is the most immediately pertinent card in my hand. Oh, not anymore. Okay. Opponent needs to have something good right now or they're in trouble on my next turn. Symbiote. Cradle. Zenith. Okay. So they can cast 1 spell next turn. Ooh. It is so much better to get the Trinisphere into play first here for me, but that Dismember, if I had drawn these in the other order, the game would already be over. And they have 4 mana here. They could just like cast Force of Vigor or Zenith for some Reclamation Sage kind of thing. Beseiju, yikes. Oh no, I don't have any of those. Okay, they're putting me in the prison. All right. Clutch Beseiju. Workshop, I'm back in. Except not really, because that's still only 2 mana. Can't even cast his... Or, hold on. I don't think this works. I'm going to Google it real quick to make sure I haven't blown it, even though I have already passed priority and blown it. Yeah, okay. I cannot dismember through Trinisphere. I was pretty sure that was the case, but the rules around Trinisphere have changed a couple times in the history since this card has existed. All right, getting hit for 10 is not lethal. Importantly, if I draw a land here, we're kind of still gaming. Oh my god. Okay, so I take 4 to kill Craterhoof. All right, I mean, that's happening. And opponent cannot cast spells right now. I need to get ahead of this Wirewood Symbiote before my last 3 lives go away. All right, the Lotus Pedaling out a Gaia's Cradle to draw a card. It makes Cradle better next turn and cuts the clock in half. Deck Big Rips. Oh no, that's not the Big Rip. It is actually a huge rip, though, if I draw... Or does Nexus even do it? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, Nexus doesn't even do it. I need to get this One Ring into play. Thoughtseize going to take the One Ring. What a sick match. This was dope as hell. Blocking me under my own Trinisphere was really cool. Like, they could have just Besiege'd the Trinisphere, but they went after the land instead. GG. Cool. Nice one. On to the next round. Delighted to see Combo Elves out here, and delighted to lose to it. This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks, and groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there. I'm on the draw in round 4, and kinda rips. Keep. Basically, Planar Nexus and Grim Monolith are the cards you're looking for in a keepable hand, it seems like. Those are your ramp options. Verdant Catacombs. Another Bayou strategy. Moon Shadow, okay. We've got a little green-black Moon Shadow over there. This deck's definitely going to have Wasteland in it. I regret to inform everyone. Candlestick. I can deal with Moon Shadow if my mana is still intact next turn. Sylvan Safekeeper, that's no longer true. That's some cool tech. That can be just a giant burst of damage at some point while also protecting your creature. Hot. Elvish Reclaimer. Look at these cards they have together. 2 damage from the Shadow. Grim Monolith. Are you where I want to be? Monolith does not exclude Kozilek's Command, so yeah, I guess I'm just playing Monolith here. 3, 4, 5. Next turn is Ugin. Okay, pass. Okay, the possible damage output here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, not trying to rotate with Reclaimer's a little spooky. They had crop rotation or anything. They should have done it in combat for a bunch of extra damage. Not thinking about that right now. The Seiju targeting what? The Candelabra. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. That doesn't actually stop me from casting Ugin next turn. They did miss a damage there. This deck construction of not having any basics has come up in literally every match so far. I'm going to save the Kozilek's Command because I'm going to need some colorless spells where I'm going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Eugene. Target. Safekeeper first. I'll make you commit ahead of time. Saving the Moon Shadow. Oh, it saved itself. Okay, that makes sense. Kind of, I guess. Maybe. If I add 3 green, or not 3 green, 3 colorless, whatever this is. 3 colorless. I can exile both of the other creatures and make 2 blockers. That's what I'm going to do. Okay. Target player makes spawns. Exile target creature. Target me. Target Reclaimer. The cast trigger will target Moon Shadow. I don't think it specifically matters which of these I target. They get to save the one they care the most about either way. And I'm just putting 2 chumps in front of the Menace because next turn should be pretty nice as long as Ugin is still in one piece. Saving Moon Shadow. Reclaimer's cooked. And I have blockers. Next turn I can do the pitch Ugin to cast new Ugin, Legend Rule, sweep it all up. That is a land that can be sacrificed, which means Moon Shadow is on board a 6/6. I think my plan here is to block Sylvan Safekeeper with 1 spawn. Oh wow, they're just going face and leaving Moon Shadow back. What is gained by Moon Shadow being on defense here? Okay, that must have been a misclick or something. They're just done playing the game. Yeah, it doesn't make sense for Moon Shadow to stay home there. Dismembers come in. This is definitely a Wasteland deck, even though we didn't see them. I can read between the lines. I think on the draw, Trinisphere is quite a bit worse. Do I want Battleship in the main? The classic question. Because I have Leveler and Ensnaring Bridge, though Leveler is actually better than Battleship versus cards this big. I'm actually just going to leave it, and I'll play the Trinisphere. And Boseiju, what a beating. Alright, I've got Nexus and Monoliths here. Keep. Once upon a time. I forgot this is round 4. I said literally every matchup was affected by not having basics. The Delver deck that beat my face in 4 minutes, that didn't matter. Oh, Stitcher Supplier. Fun. Alright, I love this deck. Maybe my Leyline should be in. I know Leyline shuts down Moon Shadow, but I wouldn't play it just for that. But if they got Hogak stuff going on, whenever 1 or more permanent cards are put into your graveyard. Okay, so Stitcher Supplier can only ever give Moon Shadow +1/+1, even if it mills 3 permanents. Good to know. Supplies. And the sequencing makes me think they might have Bloodghast in their deck. Disruptor Flutes and Reclaimer. I'm glad to see a bunch of sideboard cards hit the graveyard. Another Bayou. Elvish Reclaimer. Okay. I think a Manifold Key is my most exciting draw here. That would do quite a bit for me. Candelabra. Okay. That's not as good as Key, but it does pay for itself at least. And then it's worth more next turn. Okay, so I have 3, 4, 5 mana right now. Versus Workshop could be on next turn. Okay, Planar Nexus. I'm a little short. I could just exile the Moonshadow and move on with life here. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to play Candelabra and then use that to exile Moonshadow while my opponent's tapped out. Exile target creature. And do I want to draw cards? Or do I want to make a spawn? I think I want to draw cards. Another Kozilek's command. My nemesis turned best friend. All right, I'll keep it. Pass. Another land that's not Wasteland. Thank you for that. Wait at the Reliquary. All right, I think my opponent's going to have 0 non-land permanents by the time my next turn ends. Okay. Versus Workshop. Versus Mine. Play Monolith. 3. Another Monolith. Now I have Metalcraft. Unless they have Force of Vigor. That would be a pretty tight one to have right here. All right, we're in there. This taps for 3. Candelabra, untap 2 lands. The ones that tap for more than they're supposed to. 5, 6, 7. Exile white. Sejiri Step can't protect from Colorless. Talon Gates of Madara can. If they have crop rotation in hand, they might be able to save one of these creatures. Force of Vigor in response. Okay. I can float the mana at this point, and the damage is already done. And now opponent is Hellbent. That's gone. I'll play Spyglass here. Reclaimer's gone. Still have my Ugin activation. And they just don't want to play anymore. Yep, that's fair. I think if they had Force of Vigored before I had Metalcraft, that might have made the Workshop worse. Or even if you missed that window, once I try to untap it, you could go there. That Force of Vigor could have been -4 mana on my board this turn, and instead it just wasn't. So that might have been a small timing issue. I'm not going to bother to do the math to know if I could have done things anyway, because I don't care that much. But certainly that was not the right time to Force of Vigor if you're going to do it. There were 2 earlier opportunities that might have actually changed the game. On to the final round.
The BoshNRoll channel is proudly partnered with the Resleevables. In this YouTube series, hosts Patrick Sullivan and Patrick Chapin go set by set through Magic's past, leveraging their decades of experience as Pro Tour players and game designers to analyze the good, the bad, and the ugly of Magic's history. Each episode is a deep dive into the facts, mechanics, cycles, trivia, decks of the time, and historical context of the set. The hosts dig into notable cards of the era and their lasting impact today. Each set gets an award show where the hosts pick their favorite cards for categories such as Best, Worst, and Weirdest. And finally, give a letter grade for the set's overall success. Whether you want a history lesson or a nostalgia hit, The Resleevables has it at youtube.com/theresleevables.
I'm on the draw in the final round against Stryfo, who has, in the past, enjoyed the grindiest blue decks imaginable, though I haven't actually seen him out in the streets in a long time, so this is an exciting pairing. My hand's bad, though. This one's worse. And here, I guess I've finally found a keepable hand, even though I'm still not stoked about it. Stryfo does like Wasteland, even in control decks. Alright, I guess I have to bottom command and just try to make this work. Misty Rainforest. I'm going to lead on Workshop because that one is worse if it gets Wastelanded, or it's worse. It's the worst land and is better if it gets Wastelanded, is what I'm trying to say. I could just go for Trinisphere here, but I want to know what's going on over there. Beastorm in response. Hopefully there's just like 3 polluted deltas in the hand, and this becomes 4th worthy. Fetch in response. Surveil. Bug. Bug is happening. That's a little bit stressful because, oh, okay, it is 4-color Stryfo stuff. Life from the Loam in the hand. And I'm naming Wasteland, because that's the card I can't beat among possible cards being represented here. And this is proper Strifo pile, but I'm going to need the Planar Nexus pretty quick to get away with anything here. Dak Faden. All right, you could steal my Spyglass. Yeah, just going to loot, put Uro and probably Loam into the graveyard. Yep, Uro, Loam into the graveyard. It's so beautiful to watch that in action. Planar Nexus, oh my god. Call the cops. All right, well, I know 3 of the 5 cards in hand. The other 2 were drawn randomly. Trinisphere. All right, so Trinisphere, that can be a tester. It's you force this or it's in play, and force becomes very difficult to play with for the rest of the game. The deck is meaningfully impacting my Grim Monolith right now. Because I would love to play it out, but it doesn't do anything. All right, pass the turn. Hope Trinisphere is super annoying. Oh, or Loam Trigger. Deck activation. Loam Triggers again. Discarded Lorien and Tameo. All right, Grim Monolith. Another one of those is kind of nice. Grim Monolith number 1 on the stack. Resolves. Now Urza's Workshop is on. I'm going to go for the One Ring. My opponent can steal it, but I am trying to draw out interaction here or get into a spot where Karn can take over. Okay, I am going to cast Grim Monolith now. It costs 3. And the reason for that is if my opponent wants to steal Grim Monolith, I'll just tap it in response, and I don't care. But the One Ring is a juicy enough target. Okay, Bowmaster is going to have to ping your own smelly face here. Forest, now Drown in the Lock is online. Taking my ring. I accept. Another tower. Filthy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Plenty of cards in the graveyard to fight Ugin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to play Ugin first, because that's probably worth fighting over. I'll exile Dak. Like, if you fight over Ugin, Karn resolves, and I don't care that you have my One Ring. If you don't fight over Ugin, I get to exile a bunch of your shit. Oh, Hardcast Force. Okay, so Drown in the Lock still in the hand. Destroy target creature. All right, that does not kill Karn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, yeah, I played a land this turn. Karn the Great Creator is in play. What do I want to get here? I could shut down Uro and Drown in the Lock by getting Tormod's Crypt. I could get Ensnaring Bridge and just lock it all down. This is all very bad against something like Beseiju. There could be some clean answers still in my opponent's game plan. I think I just want the Ensnaring Bridge, get myself some time to work. The Liquid Metal Coating's kind of hot too. But then Karn dies 2 turns out. All right, I'll get the Ensnaring Bridge. Is the Bowmaster applying pressure on board is another factor I have to consider. Dredged Loam, probably looking for a YOLO Beseiju. Picked up Polluted Delta, Taiga, Volcanic Island with that Loam. Dak. All right, none of my artifacts are worth stealing. Oh, okay. Yeah, you could target me. Yep. I draw 2, discard 2, you could deal 2 to Karn. The Dak expert Strifo showing us what's what. All right, Ugin right now. Go nuts. Shit. Well, that's bad. And I can't even activate Karn to attack with anything. I can sandbag this mine, and then it's less bad if Dak hits me. I can stand up this Trinisphere to block, though. Where is Ensnaring Bridge going? Karn's dying, not Ensnaring Bridge. The Drown in the Lock is still over there. All right. Yeah, I'm going to plus target nothing. Okay. Dak is targeting me. I'm looking for Kozilek's Command, and I did find one. Is Kozilek's Command better than Ugin here? And Ugin is still just counterable by Drown in the Lock. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, wait, is it their graveyard? Oh, and Controller's graveyard. Okay, I always do Drown in the Lock backwards. I always think it's when you hit the threshold, you're good. No, but it is the Controller, so that's why it forced instead of Drown 2 turns ago. Okay, is Ugin the way out of this? rather than Kozilek's command. The One Ring is about to activate. Okay, yeah. I'm going to go Ugin here. Karn's about to die. One Ring turns on. Something like a Thoughtseize or a Force of Will. It is that easy from here. Ring activation. I'm going to untap my Grim Monoliths this turn. I don't know if I forgot to do that last turn or if I was tapped out. Yeah, I think this is the first turn I could do this. Untap that. Untap that. All right, it's a big turn for a hot rip. Pithing Needle is moderately hot. Ugin. I'm going to blow up Dak. That's the one that's cooking me. Force pitching Brainstorm. Pitchcast the Force even though Hardcast was available. That's really smart because now they can also counter Pithing Needle. But I'm still going to cast it because that keeps ensnaring Bridge where I want it. And I'm going to have to get through this Drown in the Lock eventually. Okay, pass the turn. Yeah, getting cooked by Dak Vaden in 2026 feels great. And this match in general feels great after 4 rounds of just slugging it out. I wonder if I'd be winning this game if I just hadn't played that One Ring. Because that's my opponent's engine right now. And it did draw me a card and buy me a turn to do other stuff. But it's also now drawn my opponent significantly more cards. Ooh, well, I will continue to cast cards. Can I have one too? Can we make this game competitive? No. Another Force. All right. Fine. Well, opponent is going to have to clear this ring or answer my bridge somehow. There's got to be just Beseiju or some shit in this deck somewhere. We've seen Assassin's Trophy, and there might be Mystic Sanctuary kind of thing. Cephalid Coliseum, what's up? Yeah, that could eventually kill me. All right, Assassin's Trophy, and now I'm basically completely dead. And look at that. 4 out of 5 matchups had something that wanted me to have a single basic land in my deck, and I was unable to convert on that. All right, I'm not winning this game. GG. Lost to my own One Ring. Well, lost to Dak Vaden. Shout out Dak Vaden. I don't think I sideboard here again. In Leyline of the Void does shut down a lot of my opponent's synergies. I forgot Emrakul was in my deck. Maybe I should have taken that one draw step last game. Okay. I could definitely cast Emrakul. Trinisphere actually seems mid, and Orcish Bowmaster was why I lost that game. I mean, it was Dak plus Bowmaster plus them stealing my own One Ring. It was a sequence of things, but Bowmaster was a big part of it. That killed the Karn without needing to go into combat. I do like all of the Pithing Needle effects. All right, I'm going to go minus another Trinisphere. That card barely impacted the game. Opponent is just built to have so many resources. The hand sucks. Gonna mulligan. There's no ramp at all. Okay, this one has some obvious problems, but I'm going to keep it. Do I lead on Urza Saga? Is that good for anyone? I'll try it. Manifold Key. And remember Vexing Bauble? I was just thinking about what card I could play that would make this Urza Saga go crazy. It's Vexing Bauble. Oh, all right. Grim Monolith. It's usually right to counter the Monolith out of these decks, and Strifo will know that. Yep, Force Pitching Lorien. That means my Saga is also not going to get to make a construct. But I can grab Pithing Needle off of this. Oh no, fuck you, deck. Why? Why would you do this to me? Draw the card I'm about to tutor for that I also don't actually want. I guess I'll get a Candelabra. Jeez. That stinks. Pithing Needle. And I saw a tremendous amount of my opponent's deck last game with no Wasteland. But it is still the card I'm worried about, and the infrastructure is there to play it. Bowmaster. Okay, I need a land off this draw step. That's any land will do, but there are several lands in the deck that go completely insane. Brainstorm. Oh no, not like this. Yeah, such a exciting game 1, and then I'm just gonna have 3 lands that die to themselves game 2 without hitting any additional mana. Okay, taking some damage. Just leaving up mana, that's so horrifying for me. Tutor some other shit that doesn't matter while I draw a land that also doesn't matter. Alright, Candelabra, number 2. Spyglass. Assassin's Trophy my land on the way out. No basics to tutor for. I guess I can't concede yet, because if I do just runner lands, I could be back in it. Alright, I'm going to name Dak Vaden. That card is just good against everything I want to do. Opponent's hand is Drown in the Lock, Bowmaster, and some lands, plus whatever was just hidden on top. Attack, Disruptor Flute. They're not dropping out that Bowmaster. Pernicious Deed. All right. No, I'm good. We can stop. We can stop. Okay. Big Tron in 2026. Somebody went undefeated through a very important tournament with this. Certainly wasn't me. Holy shit, I hated every second of this. I'm not going to lie. I'm, of course, willing to believe my mulligans aren't 100% locked in to play this style of deck. What you name with your needles also matters. Your sequencing, sideboarding. Like I shaved on the Trinispheres a lot. Maybe you just never do that. I don't really know, but I felt like I made close to 0 decisions over 5 matches of Magic, and I won some of them. I lost slightly more of them, but all of my opponents who were playing like Brainstorm and White of the Reliquary and Ponder and stuff just felt like they got to play Magic, and I was just presenting this thing and asking my opponent if they were capable of playing Magic against it more than really playing Magic myself. If you like big, dumb, rampy shit and your metagame is soft to it, hell yeah, this deck is proven. I'm not sure this is actually better than Mystic Forge combo. Like, you could just do that. That deck is still legal. And this seems like it would be strong and soft against all the same things as that deck. I guess the Trinispheres would give you some flexibility in the Oops All Spells metagame that Mystic Forge combo would just be weak to that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not trying to yuck anyone's yum, but this was not for me. And I do like Tron. Like, in Modern and Pauper, I genuinely enjoy playing various Tron strategies. That's not the problem. I even respect Mystic Forge, even if I don't particularly enjoy it. But this was... I mulliganed a lot. I made close to 0 decisions, and even the games I was winning, I didn't have a lot of fun. Not for me. But, Peter, I hope it's for you. I don't know. And for the player who qualified for the mock showcase with this deck, congratulations to you. Couldn't be me. I'm going to leave this one here and hopefully never touch it again. This was Big Tron. Everyone, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.